Okay, so welcome to today's video. I am going to be playing a league with Mystic Forge. This is a deck that we did talk about on this week's episode of the podcast, and with the new card Tezzeret Cruel Captain coming out, I definitely wanted to give it a spin. Let's see if I can pop that up. So, as a refresher, Tezzeret Cruel Captain is a 3-mana colorless planeswalker. Whenever an artifact you control enters, you put a loyalty counter on Tezzeret. It has 4 loyalty and a static ability. Whenever an artifact you control enters, put a loyalty counter on Tezerret. 0 loyalty ability, untap target artifact or creature. If it's an artifact creature, put a +1/+1 counter on it. A -3 loyalty for search your library for an artifact card with mana value 1 or less, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Or a -7 where you get an emblem with at the beginning of combat on your turn, put 3 +1/+1 counters on target artifact you control. If it's not a creature, it becomes a 0/0 robot artifact creature. Notably, it is that creature forever, and notably, you can have multiple of these emblems. So if you're able to ultimate Tezeret multiple times, you can create multiple 3/3s, or you can stack the counters on one card, so you can make a 6/6 or a 9/9, whatever you want to make. So Mystic Forge is a deck that has been having a lot of recent success. I imagine people are more or less familiar with this deck. But for those who aren't, this is a colorless combo deck. You have a lot of ways to generate mana. Most notably, you have Grim Monolith. So it's a 2-mana rock that taps for 3 mana, but it costs 4 to untap this artifact, and it doesn't untap during your untap step. You also have generally a singleton copy of Basalt Monolith in most lists, which is a 3-mana card that makes 3 mana, and again does not untap during your untap step, but you can pay 3 mana to untap it. So you combine these cards with your Manifold Key and your Voltaic Key, which both do essentially the same thing, which is they cost 1, and then for 1 mana you can untap a target artifact. So a very common sequence is you will go Ancient Tomb into Grim Monolith, tap Monolith for 3, play your Voltaic Key, you're down to 2 mana, activate Voltaic Key, you're down to 1 mana, untap Grim Monolith, tap it. You are now at 4 mana, which is just the right amount of mana to cast copies of the One Ring, a very broken card. Cast copies of Mystic Forge, very strong in your all colorless deck, or cast Karn the Great Creator, also just a very strong card. Where Tezerret fits in, it acts as additional copies of Key, or notably, you can cast this off of Grim Monolith without having a key. If you minus it, you can find a key to go off on future turns, and it's also a win condition that can win through a Null Rod. This list is also playing 2 copies of Ugin Eye of the Storms. This is not a card that I've played with in this deck, but this is a 7-mana Planeswalker. Whenever you cast it, you exile 1 target permanent that's 1 or more colors. And whenever you cast a colorless spell, you exile up to 1 target permanent that's 1 or more colors. It starts with 7 loyalty, which is a ton. You can plus it for 2 loyalty to gain 3 life and draw a card. You can 0 it to add 3 colorless, or you can -11 to search your library for any number of colorless non-land cards, exile them, shuffle. Until end of turn, you may cast them without paying its mana cost. Essentially, you win if you are doing that. Your other win condition is, so your actual win conditions are Glaring Fleshraker. This is a 2 and a colorless Eldrazi. Whenever you cast a colorless spell, you create an 0/1 Eldrazi spawn creature token, and whenever a colorless creature enters, you deal 1 damage to each opponent. So this is one way that you can kill. Also, if you Karn for a Paradox engine, you can create, which feels like an infinite amount of mana. You can play a second Karn and you can grab a Walking Ballista, and that is another way you can win. A lot of times people will just concede to you casting a fairly large Kozilek's command. So that's not a win condition, but we can pretend it is. And it's also the deck's main interactive spell as well. The mana base that we are playing with is bolstered by Ancient Tomb, but it also has Planar Nexus with Urza's Tower, so those together make 4 mana. We have Urza Saga, and we have Urza's Workshop. Urza's Workshop, people are split on in this deck. This is an Urza's land, and you can tap it for colorless, but if you have Metalcraft or 3 or more artifacts, you can tap it to add colorless for each Urza's land you control. So notably, this counts Urza's Tower, Urza's Saga, and Planar Nexus. It's not going to be uncommon for this card to be tapping for 4 or 5 mana in the late game. So this card is very powerful. A lot of people are kind of in debates on if you should play this or play City of Traders. So my co-host Mark and I are definitely on the side of Urza's Workshop, but I think you can make a very strong argument for City of Traders. So with this list, as I said, I'm really looking to try out copies of Tezerret. And you may be thinking, well, why aren't you playing 4 copies? Well, there's 2 reasons. One, it's a very new card, and so it's not actually out on rental services yet. So I only had access to 2, but also I copied a list from a player, Splev. This is a player who has been playing Mystic Forge for a very long time. I actually played against this person at Eternal Weekend last year. They were on the deck, and if you look at their Goldfish page, they have a ton of trophies with this deck. They said that they are happy with their 2 copies. They're still a big fan of Ugin. So this is the list they plan to rock with for a while. And I thought I would go ahead and give it a go. And yeah, so we're going to see how this goes. And I'm going to share that with you fine folks. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get signed up. Make sure we're starting with the right one. And I'll see you in round 1. Okay, so here we are for the first round. We are against Tom Jab, who I believe lately has been playing Blue-Black Reanimator. Boo. So this opening hand is only one mana source. It has the Mox Opal, but it can be kind of hard to turn the Mox Opal on. So I'm going to go ahead and mulligan this. I don't like to keep a hand that has less than 2 lands. If you had Ancient Tomb, you can maybe get away with it, but this hand is just too weak for me. Wow, this feels like a really big punish as well. Yeah, this hand is presenting a turn 3 One Ring, which is not very good. So not a great sign, but we're going to go to 5. Wow, we are very unlucky. So at this point, we can keep and just try to play a slower game. If we are able to draw a Planar Nexus, we're in good shape. And you could have said that with the last hand as well. Or we could go to 4 and just kind of hope to have it all right, because if we have Ancient Tomb, Grim Monolith, Tezerret, or Ancient Tomb, Grim Monolith, and a key, and a One Ring, that would be huge. And so that would be better than anything we've seen. The downside is those hands are very weak to a Force of Will, but also this hand's probably going to die without doing anything. I think you could make a coherent argument either way. I'm going to keep simply because I want to try to be able to cast Tezzerets. That's what I came here to do, so I'm going to keep. We are going to put back Karn, and we are going to put back the Urza's Workshop, because we're pretty far from Metalcraft. Actually, we're not that far, I guess, because we have the Saga. So I could put back the tower. I'm definitely losing the Karn. And yeah, I'm still going to put the workshop back. So the reason I led with the tower is specifically because if we draw the Planar Nexus, then we get to have the turn 2 Tezeret. Okay, so it looks like our opponent is on blue-red tempo. Dragon's Rage and a Mistress Bauble, binning a second Dragon's Rage channeler, so they don't need lands. They're seeing our top card. So here we're going to play the Urza Saga. We're going to play the Grim Monolith. So notably, they're forcing this. So that tells us they don't have days, which is nice. And as much as we would have liked our spell to resolve, it's not the end of the world. There's definitely 2 schools of thought. Like, are you supposed to counter the mana ramp, or are you supposed to counter just the threats and card draw? And it's kind of hard. It's definitely a hard question. Okay, Wasteland is pretty brutal, because now we can't cast a spell or even activate this Urza Saga, and we're going to lose it on our turn. Okay, go to 14. Opponent has us under a lot of pressure. I think this game is likely going to end in a loss. Oh, are they going to stifle this? If they stifle this, then that's basically game over. Okay. Nope, they're just playing around Pithing Needle. Pithing Needle would be crazy. So if we get Lotus Petal, then we can get the Tezeret down, but that doesn't really accomplish anything. Oh, this is just not a good spot. We could get Soul Guide Lantern just to shrink their guys. buy us time. I think I like that. I mean, everything we can do seems kind of bad. Even this probably only buys us one additional turn. No, it's just like if we play Lotus Petal and play one of these threats, they're not even that good. I guess playing One Ring or Mystic Forge would be good, so maybe I was supposed to do it. Oh, here comes the Murktide Regent, punished for not just doing it immediately. Wow, that was awful on my part. Okay, so in that case, these are really close to becoming 3/3s again, because the land, if they have a Surveil, they can hit something and instant. Yeah, we're just dead. One of the nice things about this deck is you have so much. Just boostering you have so much in terms of your Karn package, so you basically do not sideboard. Okay, this hand is not great, but actually has mana, so it is an improvement. Even though we didn't get any value off of the Soul Guide Lantern, I think it makes sense to run it out now, just because we may want Metalcraft. We're just going to jam and hope they don't have a Daze or Force here. Okay, Delver, do not flip. Okay, Brainstorming in response means it's probably going to flip. The fact they didn't flip it is kind of insane. Unfortunately, they did have the Lightning Bolt. That's actually wild. How did you... I guess they really wanted to shuffle away those other cards. So I'm going to try to draw a land here, and I'm going to hit their Delver. And notably, we're going to play around Daze, even though if they had Daze, they might have revealed it, but they might have wanted to keep it a secret just for the blowout. Okay, so they have Force. Oh, shoot. I have 6, but they're going to play Murktide Regent here. And if I hadn't done that, I could have responded, which would have been very good, very obvious. So that was definitely my fault. It's just me being lazy at its finest. If this resolves, it's kind of free because it gives us Metalcraft. Unfortunately, we don't have more Urza's land, so the Urza's Workshop isn't doing anything. But we can make 3 mana with the Ancient Tomb and the Candle, though now our life total is a concern. This is also on, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little short, so I'm still just going to try to find land. I'm hoping I can slam this Ugin next turn, and then Ugin can deal with Murktide Regent. We can recover from there. This doesn't do anything. Okay, now we have something. So hopefully they don't have anything. I mean, we're dead if we pass the turn, so it's not like we can play around to anything. The Voltaic Key might have been greedy, because if they have counter magic that they were just waiting on, we could have made exactly 7 mana, and this will stop us. Are they gonna... Yeah, let me just double check my math. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, well, maybe we can draw something. If we draw, that actually gets rid of our Metalcraft. Oh, no, it doesn't. I can't count. Yeah. Oh well, GG's. Really unfortunate about just auto-passing priority on that Murktide Regent turn, because that was a very, very telegraphed Murktide Regent. But I'll see you in round 2. Okay, welcome back to round 2. This is also not the most exciting hand. There's a fair amount that can make it pretty reasonable. Drawing an Urza's Tower would be great. Drawing a Tezerret might be okay. Drawing Grim Monolith would be great. And we're on the draw. We can do better than this. I'm gonna do better. Okay, well, I regret that. This hand sucks, so we're gonna keep. I don't want to put anything back. Oh man, so I have to keep my mana. I have to keep the lands. The One Ring is like the best card in the deck. Kozilek's command is really good and will likely find us what we want. I think the Glaring Fleshraker is the least important card, but then the question is what goes with it? And I think the answer is the Mystic Forge. Oh, this is a mirror, and my hand is not situated for it. We're going to lead with the Planar Nexus, because if I draw an Urza's Tower, having access to the One Ring would be ideal. Okay, we have drawn the best card in the mirror. Unfortunately, we don't currently have the mana to play it, and they have ways to answer it on board. Just what we were hoping would not happen. Honestly, even though Karn's beatable in the mirror, we're just like so far behind. I'm not gonna waste anybody's time. So I do want the Boseiju's interaction. The Soul Guide Lantern accomplishes actual nothing. The Ugin accomplishes actual nothing. Disruptor Flute can do something. Oh, I guess maybe I'm supposed to bring in the Dismembers, actually. Look, we have a hand that can produce mana, but we have no threat. We are struggling with these hands. I'm going to keep this one. Boseiju can definitely be relevant. So we could have played a Voltaic Key, but I'm going to leave up Boseiju on the off chance they try to go Ancient Tomb, Monolith Key, untap Monolith, so we can blow up the Monolith in response and hope to top deck our own threat. Okay, much less scary. Okay, and there's not actually a big reason to run out these Manifold Keys. So I'm just not going to. Like, I'd rather have them out for a Fleshraker, because then that way, if we top deck like a Fleshraker and a Kozilek's command, then we can command for a lot more. We definitely want to untap the Urza's Tower like we did, so that we have Boseiju up. This is looking bad. Okay. We could do more. I won't worry about it for now. It's just what we don't want to see. So opponent got Liquimetal Coating, which thankfully they can't use right now. I'm going to start with our own Fleshraker. Oh, right, can't use artifacts. Some extra damage out of this. We're going to attack the Karn. We don't want it to minus again. They're likely going to block with their spawn. So here we could Boseiju something, but I think we're better. It's awkward, because if they are playing a copy of the ring in their sideboard to wish for, we would like to be able to stop that, but we can't blow it up. We could blow up the Ancient Tomb now or the Urza Saga to make sure that they don't have a creature. We are just going to pass, I think, because if they do hit like a Mystic Forge, then I think that is what we want to blow up. That is unfortunate. Maybe I should have just blown up the Ancient Tomb. Oh no. Oh, this is so bad for us. They can untap their Liquimetal Coating and try to hit multiple of our things. Yeah, so we're going to blow that up. Oh, this is awful. And I'm really dumb for not just doing it and responding. Well, it doesn't matter. I guess we keep it because there's a world where the mana matters. And then we don't let them untap with theirs. Time to hope and pray. Come on, colorless spell on top. Did I miscount? Weren't they at 3? Oh, what am I saying? Makes 4 triggers. Duh. Okay. Man, I feel like I thought about so many things at the end of that game just for them to be dead. Nice. I don't think I can mulligan this hand as much as I want to. And maybe I'm supposed to just mulligan this on the draw in the mirror, because it doesn't have Karn, it doesn't have a key. But if it draws one of those, then this hand is really good. Or a Fleshraker, but like if they just have a Karn, then I'm kind of boned. The fact they didn't do anything is terrifying to me. So while the One Ring is better, the Mystic Forge is specifically better under Karn, which is why we went this way. Nobody gets to use their Karn. Now this is a dangerous gambit. If they have more Tezzerets than I do, then I'm in a bad spot. If they find they're in Tezerret or Urza Saga before I do, I'm in a bad spot. So this is, or they're Fleshrakers. So this was risky. Oh, good. They found theirs first. That's awesome. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Hey, our opponent's doing a lot of cool things with their turn. Getting Candle, untapping Tower. I wonder if they're going to key their Candle. Yep. And now they can untap their Tower and their Tomb. They can make 5. Okay, just 4. Wonder what they have. Then their last card in hand is still Liquimetal Coating. So they can play the Liquimetal Coating, blow up our Ancient Tomb, and then on their turn, they can get Mycosynth Lattice. We're 0% to win this game. This has been a disappointing start, but you still got to see some of the power of the deck. So I will see you for round 3. Okay, welcome to round 3. We've won the die roll. Okay, so we have a turn 2 Tezerret. So we're going to keep, and then finally, we get to experience the power of this card. Hopefully we draw... God, I can never think of the name of the land. Hopefully we draw the land, though, and then we can make 4 mana, and then we can Tezerret and get a key, Untap things, that'd be sweet. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. No lands for me. Wastelands for days. Don't be a Force of Will deck. Don't do it. The opponent's thinking for too long. Oh, sweet. I guess here I will find a key, and the next turn I can kind of go nuts with mana, assuming my land doesn't get wastelanded a third time. Could have played around it. Definitely could have played around it, and I just did not. Oh, that's a good draw. Step one, we're gonna untap. Play our Mox Opal. We're gonna play this. So now we have Metalcraft. Now our Urza's Workshop taps for 1 mana. But no, more of actual note and substance. Our Mox Opal is now turned on. We're doing it like this so that we can play around days. Now, again, Mystic Forge is a bit worse than the One Ring, but I wanted to play it first in case they had drawn Force of Will. If they reanimate Archon this turn, then I look silly for not playing the One Ring. Oh, thank goodness they don't have it. Okay, so their own Reanimator will bring in the Faerie Macabres. Notable thing about this list is that there are not the Leyline of the Voids that you often see in these lists. So we're going to cut one of these. And I think you could definitely also bring in Dismember for Tamiyo, Harbinger of the Seas, Dothi Voidwalker, another one-lander. It's like tempting because of the Soul Guide Lantern, the Grim Monolith Key. Like this hand is really good if it has a land. You know, I'm actually gonna keep it. And normally I would yell at somebody if I watched them keep it, but I'm going to just do it anyways. Always had it. Always. There was not a second where I did not have it. Okay, opponent doesn't do anything other than attack with Tamiyo. Please, please, please let our Grim Monolith resolve. Please. Okay, maybe they're gonna draw in response, decide if they want to pitch. Or maybe it's a hard cast days. Let it resolve. Come on, come on. Sick. And we specifically did not want to lead with Tezerret because if they decided to counter the action spell, this leaves us with mana left over to do things. Kind of wish I had sequenced that differently. I should have played the Manifold Key first. But we're in a great spot here. Okay, so opponent is choosing to let us have our soul land over their wasteland. I guess they want to draw a card. So let's just make 2 mana. Gonna untap this, and boom, we have a Big Daddy Ugin. We played the Lotus Petal first, just on the off chance there was a daze. There's not a second thing for us to hit anyways. Consign. Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty good. Opponent doesn't seem to have much going on. We're gonna wait on this Kozilek's command. Will our opponent try to draw another card? Oh, it looks like it. Never mind. Keeping a card, that's not good for us. Okay, so we're gonna respond here. I expect that this will not work. We're going to leave 1 mana floating because we're actually going to draw a card with the Soul Guide Lantern. If it doesn't, I guess we should have waited in case they hit Thoughtseize. That was bad. Okay, good. Not punished. It's looking pretty bad. So we'll eat those in response. This is the last thing I want happening. It's unfortunate because now the way is just like clear for them to make an Archon if they want. Okay, we have sort of a threat. Them drawing a card every turn is probably more than we can handle here. Here comes Murktide. And they still have Force Negation mana up. At least we can make the Glaring Fleshraker unblockable. So we can get in there for 1 damage. Woo woo. Baited. The opponent has finally chosen to wasteland us. I guess having another one was all it took. So we'll play this Lotus Petal. We'll ping them a little bit. Play this Ancient Tomb since they know about it anyways. Continue keeping Tamiyo in check. Okay, so now opponent is presenting lethal, and I forgot to untap Grim Monolith, but it also doesn't matter. This does not kill them. All right, we still have a game 3. This has been that was a brutal game. Brutal game. Okay, this hand seems plenty strong. Get turn 2 Fleshraker, turn 3 Fleshraker, just full of threats. Mana and threats, this is all we want. Okay, so we're going to lead off with this Manifold Key, just because if we do draw a Monolith, it lets us do so much more. Opponent is violating us with the Thoughtseize. This is kind of a hard decision. Well, I mean, I don't know what's in their hand, but I think it is likely a hard decision. 4 threats. Take a Fleshraker, that makes sense. Of the threats, it's the only one we can cast, and the Fleshrakers, when paired together, do kill incredibly fast. It's what we saw earlier when we were playing the mirror. Oh no, don't wasteland us. Don't do that. That's rude. We're just going to draw an Urza's Tower anyways. Our mana is going to be perfect, and it'll be like none of this ever happened. Wrong Urza's land, but beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Great. Opponent doesn't seem like they're doing much either, which hopefully buys us time to find a land. Okay, we're getting there. On the plus side, it means any land is just a fantastic draw now. Wow, opponent just not doing anything. It's very odd. I feel like none of our spells are going to resolve. Maybe opponent is just flooding. It looks like they might be... Oh, that's annoying. Now I kind of regret playing the second one out. Man, I'm so far from Metalcraft. I'm going to play the Forge. So I still think this is a must counter, but it's not as good as the One Ring. I guess they're all must counters, really. Okay, that was unexpected, but I guess we'll take it. And I'll see you in round 4, which, if we follow the trend, I should 2-0, right? Because we started 0-2, and then 1-2, and then 2-1. So this is it. We're catching our stride. Okay, welcome to round 4. Had to apologize to my opponent. Something came up after I hit start the round, and I missed quite a while. This hand, just another example of it would be good if I had another land. So we will mulligan. Actually, I guess it would still be short. Yep, this is good. This plays turn 1 Mystic Forge or Karn. Actually, do we play that turn 1? Or do we play... I think we might play turn 1 Fleshraker. And then turn 2 the Mystic Forge. Oh no. So our opponent sometimes likes to play an Affinity deck, and it appears that's what they're on today. And man, I really regret bottoming that Karn. It's fine. I didn't want to resolve my spells anyways. Okay, at least our opponent doesn't have much going on. I mean, neither do we. So we can play the Soul Guide Lantern, which is like kind of relevant because they showed us an Emery, but I think we're better off making a Construct. Okay, quite an early concession, but yeah, we were probably in a better spot. So against artifacts, I think we're supposed to bring in the Boseijus. So they're really here to blow up Null Rods, but I still think they're just good in this situation. We may want Dismember. I think Ugin's going to be too slow and have too many things it doesn't hit. Okay, so no lands equals an easy mulligan. And, oh, yeah, this is a snap keep. We have a Dismember for this Emery and a turn 2 Karn. This hand is great. We even have a backup Karn, which is good. There's a very strong chance the first one doesn't work out. I guess I know my top card. Okay, so we're going to play the Karn. We're going to play the Urza's Tower. This way, if they make the construct, I can exile it with Kozilek's command, or if they try to Metallic Rebuke, I can pay 3. So short of Consign or Force Blue card, we're just like in a very good spot. Fair enough. I think I'm just going to stop it now because that puts us on a very short clock. Wow, that is pretty perfect. Called it 2-0. And then, so in a moment, we'll get to round 5 and we'll see how this ends. We're 2-2 right now, so hopefully we can end with a positive note. Oh, that was quick. Okay. Yeah, it's not the world's strongest hand, but it's good enough. So we led with the Manifold Key, so next turn we can deploy a One Ring or a Karn or a Fleshraker, depending on what happens. Looks like Doomsday. This is probably a bad sign. Your opponent resolving turn 1 Doomsday is usually not good for you. I don't really think we have anything in the sideboard either, so that's going to be rough. Okay, so we can see which build our opponent's on. Looks like they're just on a fairly normal turbo Doomsday list. And yeah, we lose. So, okay. So in sideboarding, we're going to bring in Boseiju just as a way to make them shuffle their deck sometimes. It's not likely to be relevant, but it's like this Ugin sucks. Soul Guide Lantern kind of sucks. So like we have the easy cuts. I think we want the Mystic Forge in our deck just because we want to try to, as quickly as we can, get things going. And I don't know that we have time to Karn for this Disruptor Flute. I think we just need to draw it. I think Tezzeret's kind of slow. So I think I like this. Okay, this hand is really slow. This hand has no lands. And yeah, this hand's keep. That's scary. I should have done this on their turn in case of force negation. Okay, well, didn't matter. Maybe we're supposed to lead with One Ring to try to force that through the following turn. So opponent has turn 2 Doomsday. Unfortunately, not too much we can do about that. If we get astronomically lucky, maybe we can win on our turn, but it's likely that this is a loss. Okay, so I don't even think there is something I can hit now to win, but let's see what shows up. Yeah, there's nothing. Oh well. Yeah, so to debrief, it was a 2-3, which is pretty disappointing. I definitely could have played a little bit better in spots. I do feel like I got really pretty unlucky with a lot of those hands. Maybe you're just supposed to play 21 lands, but I don't know. People are playing 19. I'm pretty sure this list was playing 20. Let me double check. Yeah, so playing 20 lands. I think 20 is a good number. I just really didn't see the Tezzerets very much, so I don't have a strong feeling for how good they were. Like, I definitely wish I had drawn them more. The Ugins did not impress me either. I mean, like, they weren't bad, but they weren't exciting. 7 mana to get consigned, just like everything else, kind of a lot. Yeah, I definitely am still interested in putting work into the deck, even though this wasn't the world's best performance. But hopefully you enjoyed it and or learned something. And yeah, really help me out if you leave a positive comment, a good rating, and we'll see you next time.